Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mr. Bowen's All Stars. If you are new to my channel, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to get more content about my life as a kindergarten teacher. I'm going on my 15th year of teaching in elementary school. Today is classroom setup day 3, I believe, and I would love to show you what has come. It is my laminator. So since that has come, let's see. There it is, the package. Inside the package, got the manual. And let's see it. Oh, yes, awesome. So, because this laminator has arrived, today is going to be printing day and laminating day so that you can see the signs that I use for my play centers. And we'll talk about how I manage those play centers and incorporate play back into my kindergarten classroom. I would also like to go back and purchase at least one more string of lights, maybe two, to fill in that front part of the classroom. And I would also like to maybe organize some more centers as after I get into the classroom. Like from the last video you saw, we found out that summer school is in my classroom again, which is fine, but that means the mornings are kind of not an option for me to set up my classroom. And now that it is the afternoon, I can go in, get some work done without anybody being in there, and I just don't mess with the summer school materials, and we're good to go. So let's head into my classroom and see what we can get done today with laminating, printing, and hanging up some more lights. All right, I'm going to show you the state of how everything is in my classroom. Not much has changed really since my last video. As you can see though, the kidney-shaped table has been moved out quite a bit for summer school, which is fine. That's an easy fix. There's been some supplies put on my table and for summer school. So other than that, it's good. It's all right. Plan, like I said, is to add a string of lights, an extra string of lights here. I bought 2 more strings of lights. The problem is the string, the kind that I got, is sold out, and I don't know where to get that same kind. So I'm gonna try to see if these will match okay with this string of lights right here. If it doesn't, I'll just see how it looks with these 2 strings and maybe just take this one down and take this home and put them somewhere. So we'll see how that goes. I am going to print labels for each of my centers, and I will talk with you about how I manage the play centers, the different areas in my classroom, and maybe I'll be adjusting my schedule here on the whiteboard because it looks like our schedule has come out. So I'm gonna get to work and we'll see how much we can get done. So really quick, I wanted to share with you the signs that I printed. They are from Engaging Early Learners, and I have printed a bunch of different ones. One's for building, one for art. I have for my puzzles and games, library, home living, math, dollhouse, and technology. I'm gonna laminate those, and I will link where I got these signs from in the video description below. There are different versions of these signs as well. There's versions where there's like squares that you can put Velcro and print little name cards. I'm not gonna go that in depth. I'm gonna put sticky dots on the bottom of these, and like I said, I will share with you how I manage those. Okay, all the signs are now up in the classroom, so I think I am now ready to show you what all the different centers are, how it is run in my classroom, and how the students are able to self-manage themselves throughout free choice centers or free play centers, however you want to call them in your own classroom. So everything starts here at these clothespins. Every single clothespin has a number on them. And because I do student numbers in the classroom, it's very easy to make sure that if I have a student that leaves my class and I get a new one in, that whatever student it is can just take a particular student number, and I don't have to worry about relabeling these clothespins. But there are all the students' clothespins in this container right here. And when it is time for free choice centers, a student comes and gets their clothespin, whatever their student number is. So let's say I am student number 7, and then I pick whatever center that I want to do for that day. Now I'm going to show you the different centers I have and kind of share with you how I'm able to also incorporate academic standards into the free choice centers so that students are able to practice the different skills that they've learned throughout the day. So I am, for the video purposes, I am student 7, and I'm going around the room and checking out the different centers that are available. This is the writing center, and as you can see on this writing center sign right here, there are 3 dots right there, which means that 3 students can be at this center. So if they choose this center, they take their clothespin and they stick it onto the dot. Now, if there are still other dots that are free, that means more students can come to that particular center. If let's say we have 2 more students that come to this particular center, the writing center. Student 20 and student 12. That means now that this center is closed because there are 3 students at this center, nobody else can come. Now, let's say I've been at this writing center and I want to go someplace else. So then I would take my clip, pull it off the sign, make sure that I clean up everything that I was using, and then I would go pick another center. The different centers that are in the classroom, I have the writing center. There are whiteboards, there's crayons, dry erase markers. I will have different primary lined paper in here. This is from left over from last year. There is big erasers. There will be pencils that are over here, clipboards, all kinds of different materials for writing. Oh, highlighters, even these little spacemen, which I will teach the students to use throughout the year. They are to help the students with spacing in their writing. So that's the writing center. Over here is the puzzles and games center. So there's the puzzle sign. And I have different academic puzzles or games, like this alphabet puzzle. Students are matching the particular letters to these letter block things, and they put them into here. I have number puzzles. I have alphabet puzzles, or excuse me, this is not alphabet puzzle. These are rhyming puzzles. So they have to look at the picture and find something that rhymes with hose. This is the alphabet matching puzzle, where they have to match the letter with the target word. I have another like alphabet bingo, where they are trying to match the alphabet to alphabet here. And more number puzzles where they are counting how many pictures there are and then matching it with the right number. This is all left over from last year, but again, this is just an example of that center. Then over here I have the math center, different math tubs, where there are 2-sided counters, base 10 blocks, color tiles, pattern blocks, magnet tiles, the favorite sorting bears. There's other manipulatives that I will put in there. And there's the math center sign. So let's say, okay, I moved from the writing center. Now, again, I can take my clip and come over here and I will put it, I'm ready. I want to do math now. Again, there's no rotation. There's no like, okay, this group of kids are going to the math center. This group of kids is going over there. It is all free flowing. Students get to pick where they're going. And this allows for me to have time to be able to confer with my students over at my small group table, do some testing, maybe do some other small group activities. And again, students are able to self-manage this. Over here is the computer, the Chromebook cart right here. And I allow for 2 students to be at the tech center. I've already shown you in a previous my previous classroom setup video about the home living center, dramatic play, that kind of thing. They get to play, have kitchen, pretend to cook. There's food on the other side here. And over here is the classroom library, where it doesn't look like a big space, but they're tiny bodies, so I let 3 students be over here at the library, reading the books here in the library. Now over here is where I have the building blocks and the dollhouse. Zachary and Hannah are enjoying the dollhouse. Hey, where are your clips, guys? Just kidding. The building blocks, I allow for 3 students to be on the building blocks. And their area is, right here on my very dirty rug that needs to be cleaned again. So this is their area right here. And then over here, I let 2 students be at the dollhouse. Over at the block center, I have building blocks right here. Connecting cubes, I have a lot of them, so those will usually be in the math center, but I put those there for right now. And then I have big building blocks right over here. I almost forgot the art center. I've said this also in previous videos as well, but this is where I house different construction paper here. I put different fancy paper that I put on this spot right out front here. And then on the other side are all of the different art supplies that I have. I have individual chalkboards, which I have to pull out yet. Those go on the other side here of the art center. But I have chalk, I've got my markers, more crayons here, colored pencils, paint brushes, and the paint. Ooh, those are falling out. And that is my art center. The biggest thing that I'm going to have to deal with, of course, when it comes to having free choice centers, free play centers, whatever, is making sure that I am still incorporating academic standards within the centers. We all know that play is very important for our young children's development. However, the district also, wants to make sure that students are practicing those academic skills. And so how I manage those centers is I make certain things available at certain times. At the beginning of the year, it's a lot of free-flowing, free play exploration. I'll put just the basic math manipulatives in those buckets, let them become familiar with them, let them explore them. And then as the year goes on, as the weeks go on, I will narrow the scope of what is available or what the students can do in those particular centers. So for math, let's say we're working on number recognition, counting, and patterns. I might, inside my math bins, keep the colored tiles, the 2-sided counters, and I might put in some number flashcards or some other different number tiles that go along with those manipulatives so that students can count, match those numbers. I have different individual strips that go along with the colored tiles that show patterns so students can practice making those patterns and finishing those patterns. They can also still explore and play as well, but there's a way that I can narrow the scope of what they're doing that aligns to the academic standards that we might be doing in math. Writing. If, at the beginning of the year, we're going to be working on letter formation. So I'll have I have plastic sheets with different letter tracing pages that go inside the plastic sheets. I might encourage the students to practice forming the letters. I have letter cards that go in the writing center So I'll be encouraging the students to practice those skills that they have been doing, that they've been learning during whole group instruction, during handwriting, whatever, in in the kitchen, for example. I put out these, I put out like fancy paper that is like that you would use for a shopping list, and I encourage students to make a shopping list, even if they don't have, even if they're not writing the words exactly, they have the opportunity to practice making shopping lists. Or for art, we might be working on some sort of art project when it comes to learning about living things. So I might have materials that the students are able to use to like make their favorite animal, or whatever animal that we're studying or plant that we're studying. There are many different options to for you to use in your free choice centers that allow for the students to explore, to problem solve, to create many different options. And I just love the free choice centers because, like I said, social emotional is a big struggle. And when students have those opportunities to engage with each other with these real life scenarios, they learn how to manage those emotions. Perfect example: a student wants to go to a particular center. One of the favorite ones last year was art. Well, if all the clips are filled up on the art center, a student really wants to go over there. How do they solve that problem? Well, there's a perfect teaching opportunity for me to model for those students, for them to have that conversation and say, hey, can I come over here and play? And we can have that conversation of, well, if all the students that are there don't want to move, how would we solve that problem? Well, we can say something like, when you are finished with the center, can I have your spot? And when they problem solve that way, they're like, yeah, sure, you can have my spot when I'm done. And then the student then learns to find another center that is like their next favorite. So that is how I manage free choice centers in my classroom. And now that I've got my signs out and I've got most of my centers pretty much ready for the beginning of the school year, I feel really good about where I'm at in my classroom setup. So as you can see by the different shirt, it is the next day, and I remembered my microphone this time, but take a look at what finally arrived. My 20 cube storage organizer. This thing is massive, and as you can see, it's got caution tape on it because that thing is 70 plus pounds. So I had to get a dolly to bring it in, and it's gonna go here, and I will be able to house these book bins in a much more organized fashion. So it looks like I'm gonna be building furniture today. goodness, that was exhausting. And I have run into another problem that I have to show you because the cube shelf is amazing, but it is huge. So look at this bad boy. It is huge, solid, and beautiful. And I've already tested it, but they fit. The book bins fit perfectly. Now, if I get more than 20 students, which is all entirely possible, then I have another plan for that. But here's the problem now. I am squeezed to the max here. And I have to have, I don't want to have these plugs covered up like this, especially because this cart is now completely covering my writing center. So here's what I got to do. I have to turn things over a little bit. That has got to be flipped, turned on its head, basically. And I'm going to have to move my mailboxes, I think, over on top of the math tubs. So let's see if it works and see how it looks. So, as you can see, I have everything pretty much set up the way that I want it to. I currently have 20 students in my classroom, and school is about 2 weeks away. So, I have a feeling I'm going to get a few more students before school even starts. Therefore, I have a contingency plan. Now that this is set up this way, I might have to use some of these shelves right here as some extra cubbies for students, and some of the puzzles are going to have to be condensed into 2 shelves. I might have to switch up the containers or whatever else I'll have to do, but that is my contingency plan. Or I can just use 1 or 2 spots up here for just free floating book bins. But I love this cube shelf so much. It looks fantastic. It's got plenty of space for the students to put anything that they need. Books can go right here in the book bin, and anything extra can go along the side, and it's not encroaching on other people's cubbies or area. I put the mailboxes over here. I'm not super excited or happy about it, but I could not for the life of me figure out another place to put these mailboxes that would allow it to be for in students' reach. And these shelves right here are the lowest thing in the classroom. I moved the Elephant and Piggy books kind of over here along the side here. They're kind of falling over, so I don't. This is just temporary. I really don't know what else to do with my Elephant and Piggy books right now. But in the meantime, everything is functional. Everything has a place, and I moved my puzzles. I moved my puzzles sign over here to right there on my teacher stand, and that's where it's going to stay for now because it's right next to the puzzles and games. So this is how it stands right now. Don't 100% love having that mailbox over there, but it is the best place that I can think of as I look around the room. I could potentially maybe move the mailboxes over here, but then where would I put my writing center? And it would just throw everything out of order. So that's where things stand. And with that, we have reached the end of this classroom setup video. It took a lot longer to get everything done that I had wanted to. Took 2 days to get everything done, but that really has a lot to do with the fact that the summer school is in my classroom in the morning, and therefore I'm not able to have as much time during the day to get things done. And in the past, when I do classroom setup, I usually start it like a normal work day. I come in at around 8, get a bunch done, or like get a vision of what I want to do in the morning. Then I have lunch. In the afternoon, I get a bunch more done to like finalize everything. But because I can only come in about half of the day, it really squeezes the amount of time that I have available to get stuff done. And when I come into school, a lot of times I run into people that I need to talk to. We talk about planning, we talk about kindergarten testing and all that, and even less gets done because of that. So I had to spread out this video between 2 days, but hopefully you were able to get a lot of good ideas on how to utilize free choice centers in your kindergarten classroom to allow for play to happen in your class, even though there are a lot of academic requirements in kindergarten nowadays. Hopefully, you're able to get a good idea on how to incorporate academics along with that play, how you can manage free choice centers in your classroom, allow it for students to be self directed, got some ideas for problem solving, and you have a resource with those um, center signs. Like I said, I will link that resource in the video description. You also got to see how I've envisioned students to manage their materials, their books, and their supplies. It would be nice if I had less than 20 students or only 20 students, but as we're sitting right now, I have 20 students, and every single year I usually get one or two more by the time school starts. And sometimes I even get more after school starts. So, more than likely, I'm going to have to even adjust that area a little bit more. I think it will work, it will be functional. But what I really wanted to do was make sure that each student had their own particular space for all their stuff. And it's not like spilling all over into other people's um, book bins. And it's just allows for them to have things a bit more separated and manageable. So, once again, thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I will continue to bring more content around my life as a kindergarten teacher. I'm going to provide you with more ideas and more resources on how to manage a kindergarten classroom. I don't know if I'm going to do another classroom setup video. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm pretty much done. It's just a lot of fine tuning. And the next video I envision will probably be how I plan for the first week, if not the first few weeks of kindergarten. And you will get to really see how I use my schedule to kind of fine tune things and make sure that I have uh, everything planned for the routines and procedures, but also that I have enough activities and things that students can do so that we're not just trying to slog through the day figuring out what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? So that will be upcoming next. Might be another classroom setup video, might not, but we are kind of reaching the end of classroom setup this year, thanks to the fact that I am in the same building, in the same classroom. So thank you for watching and hope to see you again real soon.